Okay, so this is reading 782 for K. Now, we'll go through each of these staves, but we'll start off here. This is the Ogham stave that themes all of these other staves here and your whole reading, and it's about Ash or Newen. Now, Ash is about transition, transformation. This is about you changing. Been a lot of changes for you in the last few years. There will continue to be more changes for you, but this is not about changes that go on around you for other people and due to other circumstances. This is about changes that you make in yourself, by yourself, for yourself. So this is about taking control of your life instead of allowing other people to control you. Now, we'll pick up on that a little bit more as we go through here. Okay, so these three here, these staves talk about the last year or so, and this one themes that last year, and this is Vine or Muin. Now, Vine is very much about reaping what you sow. Again, it's about taking responsibility for your own actions. It's about, there are two, as far as Vine is concerned, there are two types of people. One type of person is the one that says, everybody else owes me a favour, the world owes me my life, and I don't have to do anything towards that. And the other type of person, at the other end of that extreme, says that nothing comes to me without hard work, and I have to do everything in order to bring about my own life. You struggle between both of those ends of the continuum, if you like, and there are two ends of the continuum. And this is very much about being in one camp on one occasion and being in another, being in the other side of that continuum on another occasion. I'll just pick up on that slightly here. What's under here is oak, and that is that life for you, particularly in the last couple of years, has been hard work. It's been emotionally hard work, it's been physically hard work, and there have been major losses in there that you haven't actually shared with too many people. You trust only one or two people at any given time, and you've been hurt badly in the last couple of years. Heather, over the top of that, is interesting because it is about love. It's about true love. It's not about that Hollywood kind of love where it's just kiss and off you go. This is about deep compassion. It's about partnership. But for you, it's not necessarily about a partnership and a relationship and love with someone else. This is about you exploring your own ability to love yourself. What's interesting with this is that it was actually upside down. So what that means is, for you in that last year, you've tried quite hard to explore who you are and how much you can love yourself, but it hasn't always been an easy journey for you. Let's have a look at this one here, which sits in the position of right now, and that's Holly. It's about obstacles, and it says right now there are some real challenges for you to face. There are some real difficulties that you have to get over, particularly emotionally. Holly is very much about transitional issues though, and about challenges that come and go. So this is not a long-standing issue that you're facing right now, but it's been one that fades in and out. We'll talk a little bit more about that here though. These four staves here look at the future for you, and this one here is the one that themes the next 12 months for you, and this is Pine or Ilium. Now, Pine is very much about it's about not sweating the small stuff and focusing on the bigger picture. Allium or pine says, if you can imagine a pine tree in the forest, a really tall pine tree in the forest, you could climb to the top of that pine, and you could sit at the top of that pine and see all of the forest laid out beneath you, all in front of you and behind you. You have the bigger picture of that forest. And if we assume that that forest was your life, Pine says now is the opportunity to take the helicopter view, take the bigger picture of life and see where you want to go. It's not about struggling over day-to-day little small stuff. Forget the small stuff. All it does is just build up your tension. The small stuff will go tomorrow. Remember that transient stuff that we talked about? The small stuff is not important. It's no point fretting, Pine says, about the small stuff. What you need to be doing at the moment is look at the bigger picture. And that may well mean that you sit down with a big piece of paper, big piece of butcher's paper, or maybe you sellotape a bunch of pieces of paper together so that you've got a really big sheet of paper. You get some coloured pens if you can, and you start drawing out what you would like for your future. This is a planning OHMs, Dave. This is about planning the bigger parts of your future. So you might want to separate that vision board into different areas. So you have one area of that paper which is all about job or potential career potential. You might have one area that's all about motherhood and how you want to mother your child. You might have another one about relationship and what sort of relationship do you want, how does that look, what does it look like. And you might have another area that's about money, and so on and so forth. So you'll have different areas that are important to you, and in there you just write notes about what you want, the bigger picture. So in terms of a job, what is the sort of thing that really inspires you and turns you on? You don't need to be specific, don't be specific, just draw bigger pictures. So is it about helping people? Is it about doing finances for people? Is it about making decisions with people? Bigger picture stuff in that job. In terms of finances, this is an area where you could say the bigger picture is that I want to earn $50,000 in the next year, or I want to be earning $100,000 in 3 years' time, or, you know, again, that bigger picture kind of stuff. How do you want to be a mother? Might be another area for health. So this is that big sheet of paper becomes your vision board. It becomes your ability to see the bigger goals that you want to create in life, and that's what that pine is all about. Here we have hazel underneath here, or coal, and we have aspen over the top. Now, this is a little bit about that struggling backwards and forwards. This is about transition. Hazel says you have great inner wisdom and you have incredible psychic gifts, but you don't use them. You don't trust them. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust other people. You feel vulnerable far too much, far too often. You don't trust other people, but then there are one or two people that you absolutely trust implicitly, but you have been let down by, so you go back to self-protecting, and we'll talk about that with this one here. So you're transient between absolutely loving and trusting and honouring people, just one or two people, mind you, not many people that you do that with, and then feeling absolutely and utterly let down, desolate and alone, and just chucking yourself back into being alone. And that's what this is. So these two struggle constantly with one another, and will continue to do so for a wee while. And here we have down the bottom here Rowan or Lewis, and this is about self-protection. You have learnt how to build a protective wall around yourself. You cage yourself in, and that's partly because you don't have a great deal of self-confidence in your ability to break out of that cage. You don't like taking risks with your emotions. You take risks with other things and with events, but not with your emotions. You tend to be really quite self-protective of those. So where are we going in the coming year with all of these? What are we saying with these? What we're saying is that you will continue to buffet between that fear of rejection and that fear of being left alone, that sits within that self-protection cage that you build around yourself, and that desire that you have to break out of that and have some peace, have some laughter, but have some long-term security. You really crave that long-term security. This is this one here talking, but you tend to stop yourself getting that long-term security because you cage yourself into this little protective cage. This is where pine comes back into the picture again, and this is really important for you. If you can get that vision board going with all of the little pockets, if you like, of here's one for finances, here's one for my being a parent, how I'm going to parent, here's one about what job I want to do in the future, here's one about the relationship that I want, here's one about the health that I want. And if you can get some little post-it notes, and when you think of something, write it on a post-it note and put it on that vision board wherever it's relevant, or alternatively just write right onto the vision board. If you find pictures in newspapers or magazines of things, of situations that you want to feel and you want to be in, you cut them out and you stick them on that vision board. So for you, the next few weeks, the next couple of months, the next 3 months or so is very much about bigger picture planning. It's about stop worrying about the silly little stuff and think about the bigger picture planning. Where do you want to be in 1 year, in 2 years, in 5 years? How do you want to feel emotionally in terms of health, finances, so on and so forth in a year from now? So if you can focus on that rather than on the fact that, you know, the washing machine doesn't work today, or, you know, the little things like that, when really all said and done, the little things do not play a big part in where you will be in the future, but your bigger picture does. So it's all about planning. It's all about releasing yourself to be creative, to plan for the future. So I hope that's of some help to you, Kay. But if you'd like to know any more, get in contact and we can carry that on.